Good morning, world.
Good morning.
So today, we've decided to touch the third rail.
No, we don't get down like that. The third rail is what?
We're going to touch the topic of abortion, but we're doing it with the help of Saint Mesus.
Yes.
So otherwise known as Charles Jason Bolte, or Bolte. I don't know how he pronounces it.
Yes.
But this song, he wrote this song. Cedric was actually on a podcast with Mesus once, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Did we do one of his songs? I think we did one of his songs.
We've done a few of his songs, actually.
This one, though, it's a little different. It's going to be a sensitive subject, so
okay.
You ready to get into it?
Let's get into it. Stay tuned. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. All right, before we get into it, are you prepared?
Like Brian says, are you prepared? Do you have enough food, water, and other essentials to get you through tough times? If not, check out My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of American families just like yours. Right now, you can save 25% off their popular 4-week emergency food kit, which will keep you well fed for 4 weeks worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. This food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. In fact, you may need it a lot sooner than that.
So don't wait. Go to www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com. That's www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com.
Okay. And once again, this was recommended to us by super fan Emily.
Emily, yes.
Emily,
thank you, Emily. Keep them coming. Before we get into the song, something in the news that's fitting for this is that horrible state of Florida, which is against, according to Governor Newsom in California, is against freedom and trying to take away all your rights. They just signed some legislature that bans abortion after 15 weeks, people. That's 15 weeks. So that is not an extreme thing to do. That is how most of your European countries do it. We in California and New York and I think Washington, D.C., we're the barbaric ones. We're the ones who literally let you abort it on demand anytime. And so this song is going to address that.
Absolutely.
Right, you want to read the first thing that comes up in a song right here?
Okay, before the song starts, he says, I hate the act of abortion, not the people who've had an abortion. I'm not here to judge people's choices or be offensive. I'm here to publicly defend the voiceless and the defenseless. And that's a good opening statement. And Mesus being a Christian guy, I don't want to say he's a Christian artist, but that's tantamount to the whole saying, hate the sin, not the sinner.
Right. And I hear this all the time, and even one of my good friends, when this whole Roe versus Wade thing was being overturned, she posted a thing that she didn't write. Obviously, she got it from something else. And the top of it says, I'm not for killing babies, but, and then it went through all these reasons why it's okay to have an abortion. Mm-hmm. But basically it all amounted to the 1.5% that had to do with rape, ectopic pregnancies, things like that. So keep that in mind. When you ever see a but after somebody states something, it kind of just defeats everything they just said before the but.
I always say, whenever you see the word but, be careful, you're about to get kicked. Right there in the butt. I'm looking at I have some stats here I was going to share with you real quick.
Okay.
0.001. The pregnancy resulted from an incestuous relationship. Mm-hmm. 0.065. The woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. That's the topic. Pregnancy.
Yeah.
0.085. The woman was raped. So basically what we're saying is that they try and make the 2% of rapes seem okay, or abortion seem okay, to justify the 98% of just saying it's just this is inconvenience to my life, so I don't feel like having the baby.
Right. So and I bet if you talk to any of those people who use those stats, if you say, okay, I will give you the 2%, they still wouldn't be for any restrictions on abortion. So they're not honest. So they just like to throw that out there as an argument. But you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's hit it. I'm going to need those numbers right there. Sorry, I need the buttons. When wombs become tombs.
I hit that third stage, I thought I straight. I'm such a good baby, kept my womb straight. Tears rushing down mama's face, can't see her yet, but I can hear her say, she don't want me now. God, you hear my mama pray? I'm alive, mama, I'm not dead, but I'll die, mama, if you take those meds. Don't be deceived, I'm already breathing. I'm begging, please don't take my breath. It's life or death, not right or left. Keep playing with sex and that's what we risking. Then we play God, try to redefine life's definition. Oh no, here we go, numbers still climb. Every year they grow since Roe verse weighed 60 million. Y'all don't hear me though. So here we go to Planned Parenthood. Yeah, it's all good, they got you covered. Sorry wasn't a part of your plan. Sorry you ain't trying to be my mother. Is it cause I made you throw up? Cause I kicked your stomach so much? Is that why I don't get to grow up? Is that why it's time for me to go, huh? Still wanna be the life of the party, so my life's departed. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Cause all I really want is to live. There's other options. What about adoption? For God's sake, I'm a child, not a hostage. And this ain't negotiable, and it damn sure ain't reversible. If you're pregnant, then I'm alive, so how is that not murder though? If I was there to say it, I'd say you hate.
I was trying to wait to go through the whole stanza, but go ahead.
There's a lot there.
No, there is a lot, and I when I first you suggested to do this, I thought, what are we gonna say? The song pretty much speaks for itself,
right?
But since you did stop it, I did have one thing.
Go ahead.
Right off the bat, the song starts, I hit that third stage. I think he means the third trimester, which is like the 27th, 28th week, way after the point at where most of these things are illegal.
Right.
Like Florida, like Mississippi, they have the heartbeat laws or the 15-week. This is at 27, 28 weeks, where in California, New York, and I think D.C. still allow you to get an abortion.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's what you said earlier about what Florida has put into the legislature now.
Yeah.
It's like, and you guys who listen to our channel, you guys understand what's happening with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. All they're saying is they're not, the states that still want to do it, and chances are California is going to become one of those sanctuary states where we have illegal aliens coming in here, and if you want to transport yourself from a state that doesn't allow abortions, I'm sure they'll come over here. Now this is inappropriate, but I thought it was somewhat humorous. The company Dix, they will pay their employees $4,000 to go to another state that allows you to get an abortion, and then that's almost like getting a vacation out of it. Let's say you live in Arizona or a state like that, it costs less than $4,000 to get here, so it's just a vacation.
Yeah. No, I know, and I mean, there's a couple things with that too. As far as all these pro-abortion people out there saying the Supreme Court, we need to actually now stack it by getting 13 justices because they just banned abortions. They did not ban abortions. All they did is take it back to the states.
Exactly.
They took it out of the federal government. But then Biden wants to now use tax dollars to pay for people to go across state lines. He just proposed that. So it's... But I know there's not a lot we can say about his lyrics. They're good. He's not hiding the ball here, but he's saying, if you're pregnant, that's life. Then why is this a topic? You're killing a life. You're not saving the mother.
Yeah, and those of you who have watched our channel for the last 2 years or so, we try not to take a stance, too hard of a stance on things, and we try and see it right down the center of the road. It's not black or white, it's not up or down, it's not rich or poor. And I love the line where he says, this is about life or death. It's not about left or right. But we have to be careful out there, everyone who's listening. The government is trying to turn us on each other, and abortion is that key thing that's going to be heavy hit in November coming the election. So we can keep people divided on this issue, and January 6th, of course, we can keep this dissension going among our American citizens.
Well, they had that damning testimony from the person who heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody that, that Trump did something that somebody heard.
Right. Is the rope there now?
So this is interesting.
Being the resident black guy, is that a...
So he's using that as a kind of the umbilical cord, but it's around his neck. The visuals are good. You can see also on his face the blood. So he has himself kind of looking like how babies are born. They're born with blood.
Right.
And I'm assuming that noose is really an umbilical cord, which
obviously
isn't supposed to be around the neck, but he's using it as a visual reference.
As
here.
a black male, I saw it differently. My apologies.
Well, sorry if you got triggered by that, but he wasn't using it in that sense.
All right. I'm good now.
It fit the song. Anyway, let's go.
The hostage, and this ain't negotiable, and it damn sure ain't reversible. If you're pregnant, then I'm alive, so how is that not murder though? If I was there to say it, I'd say you hate. Have you read the abortion totals lately? 3,000, that's on the day. We're so numb, the lives that we take. We make love with no gloves to get away with murder like OJ. What if your life wasn't pro-life and you had no life? Is that okay? Hell no. Heaven help us, getting crucified to help the helpless. But if you were dying, you want to help so? It's a double standard you sell us. And I'm tired of staying voiceless, but the lie that life's a choice since the choices being made for babies is voiceless, and that's dead wrong. And we've been
That's now when I was young, this is when you could actually debate at school. So there was topics. So somebody had to take one side and one the other. One of them was marijuana being legalized, and that's the one I did with with my debate partner then. But another one was abortion. You were allowed to kind of bring this up at school.
Right.
It didn't trigger anybody. Nobody got in fist fights. Nobody screamed at each other. They debated it. But one of the things here is, and this is the key, when do you define life? So if you define life and this is the semantics they play, if you define life when the heart beats, right? Then how can you say that that's not murder if you kill it? How come if you shoot somebody, a pregnant woman, and then that's double murder?
It's a double
in a lot of
homicide.
states? Yeah. So we sit here and now these people try to bring up how they define life. Like he actually put it in the definition. You can go back and look at what the definition he put there. Is they try to bring up all these things like the ectopic pregnancies and the incest and all that, just to kind of take you away from, wait a minute. Now, matter anything that you say, and I've come around on this subject, trust me, I was very agnostic about the whole abortion thing when I was younger, as most of us are.
Right.
But then you think, okay, this is even if you don't think it's life right now, it's a potential life.
Yes.
Ben Shapiro did one of the greatest debates where he said, what if somebody's in a coma, but they're coming out of that coma in 9 months with no memories? Is it okay to kill them? And the person said, yes. I said, oh, I see. Okay. So even though you know the person's going to wake up, it's okay to kill them if they don't have memories. And that's the debate they try to say is, well, these babies don't have any memories, so it's okay to kill them.
Right.
Well, they don't have any memories up to about 2 years old. Do you remember anything before 2? So is it okay to kill a baby up until 2?
I can't remember 6 months ago.
Well, obviously, because you're old. But these excuses and these things, it's all to back a narrative that it's inconvenient for, and they try to bring race into it, and they try to bring poverty into it so that they can justify taking a life.
Yeah.
And
this is kind of mean to say, but as a teacher, I dealt with a lot of male students, 16, 17, 18 years old, and a lot of them, like Brian said, are agnostic. And I've had a few make the comment like, well, yeah, it's just it's a lump of cells, it doesn't do anything. How many of you, raise your hands, know a 16, 17-year-old male who is just a clump of cells and doesn't do anything, doesn't contribute to society, lays around and does the big three, video games, porn, and social media? What are they contributing to society? So I say at least let this little lump of cells have a chance. Give them a chance to do something that you're not doing.
That's little lump of cells could be the next Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, you never know.
Einstein, you never know. I like this line you said, keep playing with sex, and that's what we risking. Then we play God trying to redefine life's definition. And that goes back to that other one. So.
Yes.
So it's a double standard you sell us, and I'm tired of staying voiceless, but the lie that life's a choice since the choices being made for babies is voiceless, and that's dead wrong, and we've been wrong for too long. Man, hold on, let's talk about it. Just the fact that we can talk about it means there ain't nothing else to talk about. I'm allowed to say, thank God I wasn't aborted, and I'll die for I support it, cause all I really want is to live. And with all respect, that ain't your choice to choose, cause last time I checked, it's my life we lose. So God forgive us please, word is you coming soon. Till then I'm on my knees for all these wombs becoming tombs.
I think that might have been the working title. All these wombs becoming tombs.
This shows how old I am. I remember that great classic movie, Smokey and the Bandit. We've brought that up before on our show. But it was the scene where they're driving the Trans Am past the convoy of trucks, and they scoot to the side so Burt Reynolds can pull the Trans Am in there. And Sally Field looks at him and says, "Are we safe here?" And he looks over and says, "You're safe here as in your mother's womb, darling." And everybody our age, I remember that saying like, yeah, what's a safer place besides being in a mother's womb? But remember, that movie was in 1977. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like, is it really a safe place for the unborn now?
And for those of you, 1977 was after Roe versus Wade, but it was when the Democrats still thought, and you can go back and find Joe Biden saying this, that he's not going to take away the woman's right to choose, but it should be something that you don't do unless you absolutely have to. Now it's women at women's marches running around with fake babies saying, yeah, I got an abortion. Yeah, everybody should get an abortion. I mean, we've changed the narrative, and it's sick, and it goes to our culture, and it's going to go to, I think, a comment that Cedric's going to read where they try to make something about something else when it's all the culture that we've created here.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two things before Brian ends up. There's two things Brian mentioned earlier when we stopped it before. The race issue. The black culture, we've been at 13% of the American population for decades now. And the biggest thing that has taken us out, despite what people say about white cops killing us, is that our health or lack thereof, the shooting of each other, and abortions. The number of abortions that have killed black children, and I know it's all children, but I'm trying to take away the excuse for why the black population hasn't grown past 13% for decades, is that we are killing our children at an alarming rate. And I also want to say one more thing. Brian may edit this out. With Mesus being where he comes from, his background, a Christian lifestyle. If you're listening and you have had an abortion, I'm not going to call it a mistake. You had an abortion. You did what you did. Brian touched on it earlier. For those who use it consistently, persistently as birth control, that's what I have a problem with. I have talked to numerous women who look, and it's funny how that resonates. You talk to women in their 40s and 50s, they look back on that decision and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
You are forgiven. You did it. You did it once. It happened. You move on. You have 2, 3, 4 healthy kids now. You have moved on. Don't let that weigh you down. But it's the people that use it over and over again to keep from getting pregnant.
And they're using it, like you said, as birth control. It's, there are, it's funny, they'll take, and he mentioned this, taking the drugs that'll kill the baby. You can take birth control, which is a drug that will stop you from getting pregnant. Then you don't have to worry about that. If you don't like that because it might change your hormone balance, then make the guy you're with wear a condom.
Mesus said, no glove, no love.
That's right. And then the other thing is, how about just, if you're not ready to have a baby, then don't do the activity that might give you a baby.
Right.
And I know that's tough, and it's like everybody likes to have sex, and but then be responsible.
And before I forget, do we make the big excuse that everybody makes that we're putting it all on the women? We're not saying that, are we?
No.
We're not putting it all on the women.
No,
we'll make that clear.
Not. We just mentioned putting the glove on.
Putting the glove on.
And then for the race thing that he brought up, Planned Parenthood was a eugenics experiment, basically. Margaret Sanger was a bigot. She didn't want black people to rise in society, and she's the starter of this whole Planned Parenthood thing. So don't let them fool you. And it's funny because you see, I don't get it, I scratch my head. It seems to be black, lesbian, or trans women out there leading the fight for abortion rights. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Number one, learn your history. And two, you have the least chance of getting pregnant. So.
Right. Absolutely.
Anyway, all right. He's got this comment, and it kind of goes to that, what I brought up a second ago. I was really disappointed in this comment. It's like, I just wanted to say, don't watch our channel then, dude.
Sometimes we get comments just to kind of poke the bear and see what we're going to say. Yeah. But this is from that video we did a long time ago, what are white people superior at? And this is from a guy by the name of Keith Anderson, and Keith goes on to say, is it just luck that all white countries, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, others, have low crime, drugs, because they have no Afro-un-American disrespectful peoples? Spelled a lot of words wrong there. But anyway, I don't know if this is a serious comment. Sometimes you get bots in there, you get trolls.
I think he's probably a racist. And when I say racist, I don't mean that he hates Cedric, but he's using a skin color to justify his racist beliefs about there being less crime.
Right.
And what I said earlier, it's not about the skin color, it's about the culture we have created here, white and black. What he doesn't mention is a lot of those fires and everything that was started during those riots weren't just BLM, they were Antifa, which is a bunch of pasty white kids wearing masks. Mm-hmm. So that's the culture that we created on the left.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the color of skin. Now the problem is we've kind of forced minorities into these areas, and there was a really good point that was it Rubin?
Dave
Rubin. I don't think it was Dave Rubin. I think it was the other guy, Charles Murray. It was somebody like that said, when we took homosexuals and we basically ostracized them from society, they created these worlds for themselves where it was all about debauchery and promiscuous sex. So when you have the Dave Rubins that aren't into that lifestyle, they were all basically told that that's how they are. So what we've done is we've kind of created, and when I say we, it's the poverty pimps, they've created this victim mentality. So now you've got these people that have nothing to lose because they're already victims in their own mind. Right. So going to that guy's point, it's a culture we created, not the color of the skin.
Absolutely.
At least that's my opinion as the white guy.
Yeah.
Sorry I took over that comment.
You did a good job. And although we have listeners from everywhere, all across the country, Germany, Sweden, I'm going to talk about what happened real quick in Southern California. Our district attorney, George Gascon, he allows the culture to take place because there's no consequences for people who do wrong. So yeah, you see a lot of that in LA County because if you steal, if you loot, if you smash and grab, it's a slap on the wrist, spend a couple hours in jail, and you're back out again. And so what happens, even if you're a parent, if you don't discipline, and discipline always has this negative connotation, but it's basically just training. If you don't train people to say, if you do something wrong, there are going to be consequences. Out here in LA County, which is about an hour from where we are, there are no consequences, so they continue doing wrong.
Right. Yeah. And that's the bottom line. And we've, this last 2 years, made it worse when you've got these people, mainly Democrats, that are bailing people out that have done wrong. And then we wonder why they go and commit more crimes, because they're criminals. And we're not locking them up.
Yes.
That goes to a story I think we're going to do next time about a bodega owner in New York.
Yes.
Who was defending himself against somebody with a rap sheet this long, and he ended up killing the guy with the rap sheet this long because he was attacking him, so he got him with a box cutter and ended up killing him. Now that bodega owner was in jail, or they wouldn't let him out on parole. They had him $500,000, which he couldn't pay. They finally kept lowering. He's out, but can you believe that? They arrested him.
Yes. A guy who came over the right way. Come over here, take apart America, the American dream, start a company, start a business, and build it up. But we're not gonna protect you if you try and protect your business.
And should we mention that the guy with the rap sheet this long, what race he was, and why it probably didn't get reported?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Was it a person of color? It always is.
And like Cedric just said, I feel bad because the system kept letting this guy out. He never got disciplined, and now he's dead. Whose fault is that? I mean, obviously it's his fault for doing the wrong thing, but it's also our society's fault for not following through and punishing people for doing wrong things.
Right.
So, anyway.
And guys, we try and be lighthearted all the time. You guys watch Cedric and Brian because
this was such a light subject today, huh?
We'll try and be light. So I have a question for you in the comment section. We're filming this on Monday. Is it the 11th? Monday the 11th. We're gonna film it on Sunday the 10th. We're hanging out by the pool, having a few beverages, and I had this great idea of pulling a Tiara Mack. For those of you who don't know who she is, look her up. And she is the senator who decided to twerk upside down. My question for you is...
Oh, but you're leaving out some important parts.
No, I wanted to tell them everything. What did I leave out?
That she is a black lesbian senator.
Black lesbian.
That's why she can get away with
black queer.
Because black queer.
Black queer.
She's way up there on
intersectionality.
Yeah, so she can get away with that.
Yeah, but I think our subscribers will love to see me upside down twerking. If you would like to see me upside down twerking, leave that in the comment sections. And as much as it's gonna make Brian throw up and just retch, I'll have him film that.
We're assuming he can actually stand on his
I
head.
know that's going to be, that's going to be interesting.
I might have to do some trick photography.
Right.
Some editing.
You guys, whether you comment on this or not, like Brian said, we called it the third rail. We know there's some very differing opinions on this topic. Let us know what you think. That's what this YouTube platform is for. Not for hatred, not for being vindictive. Just let us know your thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.